Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good afternoon and a very happy Teachers' Day for teachers who are happy. Right? That would suggest that some teachers are not very happy about being teachers. I won't ask people to raise their hands. Right? Those who are not very happy to be teachers. But I presume that all of you are happy to be teachers. An unhappy teacher is like a man-eater in the forest. Instead of bringing hope to children, he or she brings lack of it, hopelessness. Am I correct or not? An unhappy teacher gives hope or hopelessness? Obviously hopelessness. So being happy is essential for a teacher, right? And the good part or the bad part is that when we grow up, we need real reasons to be happy. Children can become happy for no reason at all. And we can be unhappy after every reason to be happy. Again, I am correct or not? Right? We have every reason to be happy and we are not happy. Children have no reason to be happy and they are happy. So growing up is a bane or a boon. Lanat hai ya rahmat hai? Is it a bane or a boon? Bada ho jana, what is it? Teacher should answer. It's a bane or a boon? Would like to remain children or keep and retain the capacity of children to be happy at all times? That is the better option, I suppose. You can't stop growing up. Nobody can stop growing up. But one thing can be chosen and retained with effort, that we will retain the idea of happiness at all costs. Is that possible or not possible? Possible hai? Can we be happy like children always? Yes, sir. But it is not automatic. Right? Growing up makes it difficult. So we need to go back, revisit our childhood, become more simple and try to take the best out of everything. And to learn this, you require to be something more than an ordinary person. Am I correct here as well or not? Is it ordinarily possible to become like a child, happy always when you are grown up? Possible nahi hai na? Yani you will have to create something in you which is not just the normal, and that needs to come from inside you so that it gives meaning to your grown up status, right? So that you feel that where I am today is the happiest point of my existence. It's getting worse to feel that at each point you are at the happiest point of your existence. हो सकता? ये तो नहीं हो सकता. Is it possible to feel at each point of time that you are at the happiest point of existence at that point of time? बोले पागल अगर हो तो हो सकता, टीचर रहते तो नहीं हो सकता, माँ हो तो नहीं हो सकता, है या नहीं है? These are things which are not possible if you are a teacher and a mother, or even fathers these days, I suppose, because they are become half mothers now, right? So anyways, so a happy Teachers' Day. The question that I have raised is importance of the human factor in education. How does a human being impact education in a world where we are slowly moving towards machine learning, and the capacity of machines to act in ways which are superior to human beings has been established. Last month I was in San Francisco. There I saw taxis without drivers. It looks strange when you see a car without a driver moving on the street. Normal traffic, and the taxi is there, and when you look at it, there is no driver. So you are used to see a driver whenever a car is moving, and that too in traffic, proper traffic, right? And this car moves without a driver, and people hire it. The door is open, they sit, and then the location is already given, and it goes and drops you at the location without any hassle. Driving is like this. In medicine, a lot of things are happening. Today, radiologists are not giving opinion on any report unless they go through the AI program given by the manufacturer of the equipment, the MRI or the CT. So that gives you a picture that this image has this kind of an interpretation. So even if they want to interpret by themselves, they will first see to it what is the machine interpreting. And 99% plus times the machine is correct and better than the radiologist, because the ability of the machine to scan, for example, you take an MRI. The machine has a memory of about maybe 5 lakh MRIs of that kind. So it scans it in seconds, brings it down to a common factor of maybe 500, and then goes and scans the 500 which are peculiar to this kind of an image, and then brings it down to 3, 4 or 5, and a common interpretation is found out of that, and then it is given. So anybody will not carry for one single procedure, for one single scan, a 5 lakh image memory at all. It's the ability to put in data, the ability to draw out from that data something sensible. So we are in a world of the kind where drivers are slowly becoming meaningless, right? Radiology, which is a very, very special branch, specialization and at times super specialization, is also taking total support of what we call AI. Education is on the threshold. Nobody today can argue with an AI program in any field, because the data it will generate in front of you will be mind-boggling. You will not able to draw that data in quick time at all. So nobody now plays chess with a computer, because you can't beat it. The programs have been so enhanced, and it's happening in every other field. Now with this kind of a scenario coming up, where is the human factor and where is the importance of the human factor? This is the topic. Where is the human factor and where is the importance of the human factor? Specifically in education. We will try to understand first what knowledge is. Knowledge is not bringing together facts and transmitting it. Knowledge is just not bringing together facts in an organized manner and transmitting it to the student in the educational domain. It's not just that. The idea itself of what knowledge is in itself, what knowledge can do in itself, how knowledge can impact the human mind and human soul, these are all aspects of realization, not of acquiring. Pay attention, it will help you. This is not an area of acquiring. What knowledge is actually all about needs to be realized. It cannot be acquired. आपको अंदर से समझ में आना पड़ेगा कि नॉलेज होती क्या चीज है. You as a human being need to bring it in context with your own being. I started off with happiness, right? You have to create your own happiness when you grow up. Here today you have to create your own concept of knowledge if you want to stay in the field of education. आपका खुद का स्पेशल आइडिया होना पड़ेगा जो आप रियलाइज कर रहे हो. You should be able to realize what knowledge is all about. It's not just bringing the facts, putting it in front of the class, writing it on the board, explaining it and going away. No. That would be done anyway, anytime by a robot. That will be done anytime, anyway by the robot. You have to be something above that. Something totally impossible. Therefore, I started from the idea of happiness. A robot can be happy or sad, or both. Come on, come on, come on. Right? जोर से बोलो, ये तो सब साफ बात है ना. ना रोबोट हैप्पी रहता, ना रोबोट सैड रहता. रोबोट कुछ रहता ही नहीं एक्चुअली. Right? Robot is nothing but what you have put into it and its ability to draw from that what has been put into it, to the extent that now what is happening is AI is going into a domain where AI has started to lie, manipulate. AI is not just giving you facts. It has learned from what has been feeded into it, how people lie, how people manipulate. It has learned that. And now it manipulates. It lies where it is required to. Because what we have fed it is what we are. We manipulate, we lie, we do 1,000 other things. All that goes in and all that comes out of it. So what we are now seeing in AI is that its ability not only to say the truth but to manipulate people into believing things which are actually false, and it has learned that falseness and falsity from us, from what has been fed into it. So the question comes that when it comes to happiness, sadness, truth, I'm bringing it to your core of the human personality, truth. You can't guarantee truth from a AI result. It would be purposefully manipulating. Purposefully manipulating. They have tried it and examples are there. You can find it in public domain. That it had to tell a program which asked it whether it was a human being or not. And then, as they generally do, they put forward images to be organized in a particular manner. AI doesn't have that ability to do that. So it hired a human being to do that for it. It hired a human being to prove to the computer program asking whether it is human being or not. So it hired a human being to give me help here. So the person who was asked, he said, why are you not seeing yourself and doing it? The AI replied, I am impaired, my vision is impaired, I can't see it properly. I can't see it properly, therefore you interpret it for me. It gave money for that, got it interpreted and moved into the program. It was not programmed to do that. But from what it had, it could understand this is the way human beings can work, so why can't I do it? And it did it. So whatever good or bad is in us, it will be coming out if it can be placed in a lingual format, in the form of language. अगर वो हम कर लिए तो वो कर लेगा, तो सच्चाई भी उसकी गारंटी नहीं है, मैनिपुलेशन भी कर रहा है, कर सकता है और भी करेगा। आपके ओपिनियंस को घुमाने फिराने के लिए अगर कुछ उसको डेटा दे दिया जाए कि वी वांट पीपल टू बी कैजोल्ड, मूव टुवर्ड्स बाइंग दिस project, this program, this commodity, it can find 1,000 ways from the data it has gathered from all the Facebooks possible, all the accounts of internet, all that, and suggest and give out things which are more convincing than what a human being can do. And in all that process, it would be lying. It would be lying. Dhoka dega. But it has been told to do that, it's doing it. So the moral part of AI is slowly moving out, where the programmers are now saying, the real people who worked on AI for 50 years now are saying we'll have to bring in empathy into AI. दूसरों की परवाह करना, दूसरों के नहज पर सोचना, ये हमको AI को सिखाना पड़ेगा। AI को हम सिखाएंगे कि अब तू ऐसा मत कर, धोखे मत दे, मैनिपुलेट मत कर, बल्कि सच सच बोलने की कोशिश कर। तो ये हो गई आपकी AI, मगर काम में जरूर आएगी। एजुकेशन में भी काम में जरूर आएगी और दूसरे फील्ड में भी काम में जरूर आएगी। सो वेयर इज द एरिया वेयर यू विल बी एक्सेलिंग इज द बिग क्वेश्चन, सो दैट योर प्रेजेंस इन द क्लास बिकम्स अ गेम चेंजर फॉर द स्टूडेंट्स। सो यू विल हैव टू बी happy as we all started, truthful as I just told, right, above lying, which AI cannot be, above manipulating, above thinking narrowly, thinking for everybody, making the child realize that individual excellence has a minimum benefit, working together as a team and delivering has the maximum benefit, because whatever you do, you will have to work as a group as things are moving forward. Individual excellence, unless it is mixed and clubbed with a group activity and ability to lead a group, even Nobel Prize winners are not winning Nobel Prizes on the basis of individual brilliance now. It's all the effort that is being put in by the team to come to a conclusion. Obviously, the person who leads the team, inspires them and shows them the way to how to move forward, is getting the Nobel Prize. But it is becoming teamwork. So teaching children the utility of teamwork. And that you cannot do unless you are also working as a group of teachers, as a team, not as individual teachers of a particular subject. Looking at knowledge holistically from the point of view of what knowledge can do to the child, apart from the fact that you are giving a particular subject to the child. Knowledge in general is a bigger idea than specific subjects. मैंने इशारा किया था थोड़ी देर पहले. Knowledge, what is knowledge itself, how much it is important for us, how we define ourselves from a knowledge perspective. This is not anything to do with the class, it's to do with you. How do you define yourself from a knowledge perspective? अपने आप को आप इल्मी तौर पर क्या समझते हैं, फिक्री तौर पर, इंटेलेक्चुअल लेवल पर क्या समझते हैं? What do you understand of yourself at an intellectual level? That is knowledge. But it is knowledge about you yourself. And when you have that self-knowledge, that self-consciousness, and in that state, if you can retain your humanness, and humanness comes from the fact that you understand your limitations. Human beings have limitations or not? Tell me that. All of us have limitations. So if you can understand your limitations and be happy with them, मुझे सब कुछ मालूम होना जरूरी नहीं है खुश होने के लिए, खुश रहने के लिए. मुझे सब लोग अच्छा बोलने की जरूरत नहीं है कि मैं खुश रहूं. I can be happy when others are not very encouraging about my efforts. आपकी अच्छाई हर जगह तालियों से, मैं तो आने से पहले लोग तालियां बजा दिए, राइट, दैट मीन्स जल्दी बोल के चले जाओ, राइट, तालियां आपको चाहिए थे वो तो हमने पहले ही दे दिए, ठीक है, तो वो कम होता है, वो कम होता है, ठीक है। एनीवेज, तो ये आपका जो रियलाइजेशन है, जो आप बनते हैं, आप जो रहते हैं, ये सब का सब जो है आपके अपने आत्मा, सोल, रूह से ताल्लुक रखता है। आज का जमाना ऐसा हो गया है, और मैं समझता हूं एआई आकर एक अच्छा काम किया कि वॉट एवर नॉलेज यू आर एक्वायरिंग एज फैक्ट्स, अ मशीन कैन आउटडू यू a million times over. A machine can outdo you a million times over. So if you feel getting facts and acquiring knowledge in the form of collection of facts in a particular subject or a few subjects becomes meaningless. The content in the class of what you are presenting will be getting better and better and will be organized at a higher level, and maybe we will be having a team of 1 or 2 individuals, 3 individuals who would be going into the domains and finding out the best teaching techniques available in the world. And that is easy. That is easy. It's becoming more easier by the day. How is this subject being taught in X place, Y place, Z place? It will come out. What are the tools being used? It will come out. All that would be available to you. What would not be available is you yourself. कोई AI आपको रेप्लिकेट और डुप्लीकेट नहीं कर सकता। इंपॉर्टेंट बात बोल रहा हूं, सोच लीजिए, समझ लीजिए। आप डुप्लीकेटेबल नहीं है। जैसा आपके उंगली के निशान, दांतों की बनवट पेक्यूलियर है, फिंगरप्रिंट से लेकर आपकी आइरिस से लेकर आपके दांतों की प्लेसमेंट, ये हर इंसान का आइडेंटिकल ट्विंस का भी अलग होता है। तो आप अलग हैं, अनोखे हैं, यू आर वन एंड ऑल क्रिएशन हैज अ पर्पस एंड यू हैव अ पर्पस बिल्ट इन यू लाइक योर फिंगरप्रिंट्स, like your fingerprints. So when you have that kind of identity which no AI can replace, it can replace the ability of the mind to retain. आपकी मेमोरी लिमिटेड है, मेरी मेमोरी लिमिटेड है। AI की मेमोरी, वो जो पावर यूज करता है, एक सिटी को कई दिनों तक रोशनी देने वाला पावर वो एक दिन में इस्तेमाल करता है। It needs to have its own power generation centers, क्योंकि इतना डेटा मैनेज करना requires the energy to light up a city for a few days. तो ये AI है, ठीक है। लेकिन आप जहां पर क्लास में जा रहे हैं ये रेप्लिकेट नहीं होगा। आप अनोखे हैं, अनोखे रहेंगे। अब अनोखे रहकर if you are special, then what specialty you are giving to the class? That will be, because content is available. Delivery of the content becomes the real problem. कि आप किस तरीके से डिलीवर करेंगे कंटेंट को। हियर द ह्यूमन फैक्टर बिकम्स एसेंशियल। हमारी टॉपिक की तरफ तवज्जो कीजिए, इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ ह्यूमन फैक्टर इन एजुकेशन। आपका खुद का वजूद, आपकी खुद का अस्तित्व, आपका खुद का एग्जिस्टेंस, सब का सब इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है अब जब कंटेंट आपका वेल डिफाइंड है, वेल रिसर्च्ड है, अवेलेबल है फ्रॉम ऑल पार्ट्स ऑफ द वर्ल्ड। आप उसको लेंगे कैसा और आप उसको देंगे कैसा? हाउ यू विल बी एबल टू गिव इट आउट टू द स्टूडेंट्स विद ऑल देयर डिफरेंसेस ऑफ लर्निंग। देयर एबिलिटीज टू लर्न आर very different, from the brightest to the slowest, bordering on the autistic line. One step this side, it would be classified as autism or even mild autism in the class. So you have children of that kind with learning difficulties to a certain extent which are in your class. Apart from that, the social pressures on the child are much more here than wherever 50 years ago, 40 years ago, even 30 years ago. I can relate to 50 years ago, 55 years ago, you can relate to maybe 25 years ago or 30 years ago. Children are, though they are having all that, but they have a lot more to see than we would see. We would see nature more. They see the screen more. And the screen doesn't replace nature, it doesn't replace the outside world. So their view is actually being, in a way, contracted. And you need to bring in your experience and expand it in the class. ये काम आपका हो जाता है. बच्चों में डिप्रेशन सुनते नहीं थे, बच्चों में भी डिप्रेशन आ रहा है. वेस्ट में तो बहुत ज्यादा है. It converts itself into schizophrenia. So you are having a very, very, very big role as a teacher to bring the content of the topmost kind which is being made available to you and which you can absorb because you are qualified to absorb it. That is, you learn from it, nothing bad, and then to move it forward to the class. तो जो state में आप class को जाएंगे, if you take the first thing I said, I am at the happiest point always in my life, come what may. अगर आप इसको अपनाना शुरू करें, आसान नहीं है काम. I am at the happiest point of time in my life at each point of time. That means I am perpetually at the happiest point of time in my life. उसका मतलब क्या होता मालूम? उसका मतलब होता आप जन्नत में हैं. अरे बोले जिंदा रह के जन्नत में भेज दे रहे हैं आप. It means that you are in paradise. What is paradise? Paradise is that state where you are happiest at every point of time perpetually. अब बोले ये पॉसिबल ही नहीं है, कुछ ना कुछ होते ही रहता है, कुछ ना कुछ होते ही रहता है. तो कुछ ना कुछ अगर हो रहा है तो उससे ऊपर भी उठ सकते हैं या ऊपर नहीं उठ सकते हैं, ये सबसे बड़ा सवाल आता है. क्योंकि कुछ हो रहा है, प्रेशर पड़ रहा है और वो पूरा प्रेशर लेकर टीचर क्लास को जा रही है. वो प्रेशर रिलीज नहीं हो रहा है, छोटा एक बच्चा छोटी सी शरारत कर देता है, इट ब्लोज अप, और कभी कभी हाथ भी उठ जाता है. ठीक है, या कभी उसको कर्ज करते हैं या कभी अपने आप को. दोनों तरीके की चीजें हो सकती हैं. ठीक है, अब ये स्टेट में पढ़ाई हो रही है, बच्चों को पढ़ाया जा रहा है. वो बच्चे पढ़ेंगे क्या, आप पढ़ाएंगे क्या? द होल आइडिया वुड बी गेट फिनिश्ड विद दिस क्लास एंड गो बैक. So instead of being at the happiest level always, you will be at the lowest level of happiness, if I can call it happiness at all. आप lowest level पे रहेंगे happiness के, और उसके नीचे वाली चीज तो मैं imagine भी नहीं कर सकता कि आप sadness के level में आ जाएंगे. Sadness यानी depression. A teacher in class in a state of a depressed mood, बच्चों को क्या करेगी? बुलंद हिम्मत करेगी, एंकरेज करेगी, उनके अंदर हिम्मत दिलाएगी, हौसला दिलाएगी, या उनके हिम्मत को कम करेगी? टेल मी, कम करेगी ना? ये हो सकता है. आप गए थे बच्चों को आसमान की ऊंचाइयां दिखाने के लिए और उनको आप जमीन के गड्ढे की गहराइयां दिखाकर वापस आ गए. ह्यूमन कमजोरियों का आपने इजहार किया. यू शोड एंड एक्सपोज्ड ह्यूमन वीकनेसेस इन क्लास इंस्टेड ऑफ showing and exposing human greatness in class. In all this, the content which you are giving is top class, brought from every part of the world with the help of AI. कंटेंट को हम कांस्टेंट लेके चले रहे हैं. जो वेरिएबल है वो बहुत गड़बड़ है, जो बदल सकता है वो बहुत बदल, और वो पूरे का पूरा किसके हाथ में है? हमारे हाथ में है, सबके हाथ में है. सवाल अब यही होता है कि हम यहां पर जब आके बैठे हैं, आज टीचर्स डे है, एक ऐसे आदमी की पैदाइश के जो बहुत गहराई में फिक्र किया, बहुत गहराई से सोचा, और जिसको गांधी अपना कृष्ण कहते थे. ठीक है, जबकि वो गांधी से तकरीबन 20 साल छोटे थे. तो बोलते थे आई एम हिज अर्जुन एंड ही इज माई कृष्णा. दैट वाज व्हाट सर्वेपल्ली राधाकृष्णन वाज, राइट? So keeping that in mind, such a person who was evolved, his works are very extensive, He covers a lot of areas. He taught at Oxford, right? Came back, became the first Vice President of India, then the second President of India, and onwards and onwards. So keeping that in mind, we need to also go back, and he was a scholar of religion. He was an expert in Buddhism. His works on Upanishads is there. He has worked on all religions. He has a book specifically talking about every religion, including Islam, Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism and all that. Buddhism and Hinduism were his forte. He was very strong in that. So all this expanse which we have of a teacher on whose birthday we are celebrating the Teacher's Day. So we need to go deep into us, the way he went deep into himself and tried to explain things. आपकी हमारी आज की दुनिया is a tightrope walk. Tightrope walk समझते हैं आप लोग? Walking on a tightrope between two skyscrapers. One wrong step is death. Right? Death in the form of not living. The way we were created to live. मैंने मिसाल बच्चों की दी आपको. I gave you an example of the children. We were created to understand, to be happy by giving happiness at the level of childhood. So in our creation there is happiness. We lose it when we forget it. We lose it when we forget it. And AI then replaces whatever we have, because without happiness we have nothing which we are capable of. ये याद रख लो, ये याद रख लो. खुश होकर नहीं जा रहे हैं क्लास में, खुशी को देने नहीं जा रहे हैं, खुशी को बच्चों में भरने नहीं जा रहे हैं क्लास में, और जिसके पास है नहीं वो दे नहीं सकता. तो उतनी खुशी भर के जाना पड़ेगा और उतनी खुशी दे के आना पड़ेगा, उसके बाद फिर भरना पड़ेगा. ये स्टेट ऑफ द सोल होता है, ये स्टेट ऑफ द माइंड नहीं होता. माइंड छोटे छोटे चीजों से मुतासिर होती है. किसी ने कुछ बुरा कह दिया, किसी ने कुछ एडवर्स कमेंट कर दिया, ठीक है, कुछ नहीं तो कुछ नहीं, किसी दूसरे के कपड़ों की तारीफ कर दिया, आपके कपड़ों की तारीफ नहीं किया, बुरे हैं नहीं कहा, वल्लाह बुरे हैं नहीं कहा, नहीं कहा कि आपके कपड़े अच्छे नहीं है, मिसमैच है, फकत दूसरों की तारीफ कर दिया आपके सामने. तो आपको यह महसूस होने लगा कि कुछ ना कुछ मेरे में कमी है. होता है कभी कभी ऐसा या नहीं होता है? होता है. क्यों होता है? इसलिए होता है कि हम हमारी जिंदगी दिमाग से गुजारते हैं. बिकॉज वी लिव आवर लाइफ विद आवर माइंड्स, वी डोंट लिव विद आवर सोल्स. सोल तो हमेशा दूसरे की तारीफ करने को ज्यादा तैयार रहता है अपनी तारीफ होने से. सोल की प्रॉब्लम है. अब आप उसको प्रॉब्लम ही बोलिए कि वो दूसरों की अच्छाई और अपनी कमी को ज्यादा आसानी से रियलाइज करता है. दूसरों की अच्छाई को और अपनी कमी को, द गुडनेस ऑफ अदर्स एंड आवर ओन वीकनेसेस, अ सोल रियलाइजेस बेटर. एंड द माइंड डजंट हैव दैट कैपेसिटी. The mind can only give you an ego which doesn't recognize other people's goodness and gives more value to your own weaknesses, leave alone goodness. It starts giving value to your own weaknesses instead of appreciating others' goodness. तो आप क्या बन जाते? दूसरों की अच्छाई समझ नहीं सकते या तारीफ नहीं कर सकते, और अपने ऐप को, अपनी वीकनेस को अच्छा समझने लगते हैं. तो ये टीचर सूरत के को फेस करते हुए नहीं जा रही क्लास को एक्चुअली पीट करते हुए जा रही है. Yes, you can imagine what will happen to the class when the teacher walks with the back inside the class instead of facing the class. Mentally, we go in that state. हमारा दिमाग आमादा ही नहीं होता. Our mind is not in a state of teaching when we enter the class. And though we could know that, our ego will not allow to tell us that we are not being properly motivated enough to teach. क्योंकि you will be convinced that whatever I am doing is the best that can be done. Here it is that the human downward spiral starts. ऊपर जाना तो भूल जाओ, you start going down because your weaknesses are being considered because of your self love as strength. होता है नहीं होता है? हमारी गलती गलती नहीं, दूसरे की अच्छाई गलती. Do we want to get stuck in this kind of a quagmire? इस किस्म की दलदल में हमको फंसना है या नहीं फंसना है? किसी को नहीं फंसना है, लेकिन फंसते रहते हैं. बाद में जाके घर में पैर धो लेंगे, फंस गए तो क्या हुआ कीचड़ में, नथिंग प्रॉब्लम. मगर वी कीप लिविंग एंड दैट बिकम्स आवर लाइफ, दैट बिकम्स आवर हैबिट. और आज की दुनिया टुडेज वर्ल्ड is becoming a place where this kind of self-love is being pushed to its limit. Think about yourself. Think whatever you are. You are the greatest. Yes, you are greatest from the point of view of your soul, not point of view of your mind and body. AI, a simple computer can do really more magnificent things than your mind and your body. Machines तो body का काम कर ही ले रहे थे. Tractors बैलों को replace कर चुके थे. ठीक है, बड़े बड़े अर्थ मूविंग मशीन्स लेबरर्स को रिप्लेस कर चुके थे. अब बड़े बड़ी बिल्डिंगें जो है मिनिमम लेबर के साथ बनाई जा रही हैं, फैक्ट्री में फैब्रिकेट हो रही हैं और लाकर उसको जमीन के ऊपर दिनों में लगा दिया जा रहा है, 20 मंजिल 30 मंजिल के बिल्डिंगों को. तो ह्यूमन फिजिकल पार्ट वाज कंसिडर्ड सेकेंडरी लॉन्ग टाइम बैक, एंड विद मैकेनाइजेशन हैपनिंग इट हैज बिकम समथिंग very incomparable to physical ability of matter, because it's iron, it's not muscle, it's iron, and iron has much more tensile strength than a muscle will have. So that's very clear. Now the question of the mind has come. This phase of ours is where the mind also has been put behind, like the physical war. Machines आके physical को खत्म कर दिए, ये AI आकर machines भी इंसान बनाया था. Human beings were the people who made the machines and are making the machines. AI is also human made, but what the machines did is being done now by AI, where your mind is also being overruled and becoming secondary. So what remains? What remains? बोलो क्या बचता है आपके पास? क्या बचता है? बोलो. कुछ भी नहीं. बाहर में कुछ भी नहीं बचा. जब बॉडी भी नहीं रही, माइंड भी नहीं रही, तो और कुछ भी नहीं है. हाँ बोल रहे, बोलो. आत्मा है, सोल है, रूह है ना, नहीं है? आप सुन भी उसी से रहे हैं, बोल भी उसी से रहे हैं, तो ये चीज जो है तो वो है क्या? माइंड में जो गया उसको चूज करके पेश कर देना, यही सोल का काम है. माइंड में जो कुछ गया उसको जो है दूसरे तक पहुंचा देना. वो तो मैंने कहा कि रोबोट भी कर देगा क्लास में. ये काम है सोल का. या इनोवेट करना, कंटेंट को बेस्ट तरीके से बच्चे तक पहुंचाने के लिए, यानी बच्चे को लर्निंग के वो माइंडसेट में लाना जो सबसे ऑप्टिमम है. ऑप्टिमाइजिंग द लर्निंग कैपेसिटी ऑफ द स्टूडेंट इन द क्लास. ऑप्टिमाइजिंग द लर्निंग कैपेसिटी ऑफ ईच स्टूडेंट इन द क्लास. अब जब आप और हम खुद उस ऑप्टिमल स्टेट में नहीं है, we are not in that state when we are in the class. Tell me, how is it possible to create that optimal state in each individual student? Is it possible? है क्या नहीं है? गलती कंटेंट की है. Content is there, well developed content, and is going to develop at a much faster speed now onwards, right? Am I correct on this or not? What remains is your soul, only your soul. So we have come to the point where the body had been overtaken by machines. Now the mind is being overtaken by AI. So what remains is your soul. And if you can understand this, and AI will never ever have a soul, remember that. AI will never ever have a soul. Soul is something totally different, above, and the real identity of all of us, if we are capable to know what the soul is. everything comes back to you again and you become the source of all goodness in the world from the point you are. That means, zara socho, zara gaur karo. Where you are, God created an area of influence of goodness through you. God created an area of influence of goodness through you. And therefore that is your role. That is your role. Who can identify that role? Somebody needs to identify it, right? The mind, the body. बोलो बोलो बोलो. आप 10 किताबें पढ़ लिए तो आपका रोल आपको समझ में आ जाता. समझ में भी आ गया तो रियलाइज होता. समझना एक चीज है, रियलाइज करना दूसरी चीज है. खुश रहना सबको मालूम अच्छी चीज है, लेकिन सब खुश रहते अच्छी चीज है बोलकर. Do we realize it? We know, we have the knowledge of it. Having the knowledge and feeling it as a realized thing is different. And the realization part is the part of the soul, where it crosses just knowing and you start feeling it. So now when the soul starts working, it starts finding itself in a particular place, in a particular geography. Right? Body means geography. You are in a particular place, location. You get that? You are in a particular place. Once you are in a particular place, now you have to say whatever my physical and mental capabilities are, the body and the mind, this needs to be put into best use in the area of influence which God has ordained for me, and I keep enhancing my physical well-being and my mental well-being, acquiring more through AI also, right, with the help of others. I would be able to deliver in this area, and then if I expand it, I'll be able to deliver in this area and further on and on and on. Right? If the soul knows where it can particularly deliver at an optimal level first itself, आप अपने soul को ले लो थोड़ी देर के लिए. Now with that state, it knows that its domain is the class for 50 minutes or 45 minutes. Right? Now it goes in that state and now it wants to deliver at the highest level possible. The content giving as something which is invariable, it's constant. It's being enhanced, but we'll take it as a constant. So what you would be doing is something very, very strange. You would be at your best in each class you are going into. And being at the best would become an habit with you if you keep doing it. If you keep doing it, it will become a habit. आप जाएंगे क्लास में तो you are at the top optimal level of delivering what you know, teaching the syllabus and bringing the children to your optimal level. बच्चों के पास भी सोल होता है नहीं होता है? आप रोबोट्स को नहीं पढ़ा रहे और ना रोबोट बच्चों को पढ़ा रहा है. आप हैं सोल वाले, बच्चे हैं सोल वाले. They have souls, right? So now when your soul is at an equilibrium, optimal equilibrium, right, it starts impacting the mind of the child also. You being more initiated, more realized, बच्चा बच्चा है. A child is a child, but you have the experience of 20 years, 25 years, 30 years or more. And then with that optimal state, you enter the place. It's like a perfume which you have put on yourself, a very good perfume, right? When you enter a room, what will happen? Others can smell it or not. So now this perfume of yours is their soul which is now in a state of optimal understanding. And once it is in a state of optimal understanding, it will deliver at the level of optimal understanding to the children who are souls, lesser, smaller souls, less experienced, less mature. But the power of your perfume impacts their noses, the power of your soul impacts their souls. Correct? That brings them into a kind of unison with your mind. अब वो आपके माइंड के साथ आगे बढ़ना शुरू करता है. एंट्री कहां से हुई? सोल के थ्रू. आई कहां पर? फैक्ट्स के ऊपर. फैक्ट्स कहां पर है? माइंड में. माइंड में जो फैक्ट्स लेकर आए आप यहां पर लिखा के ले आए, दे आर ऑल एआई सपोर्टेड. सो यू आर टेकिंग द बेस्ट ऑफ व्हाट इज पॉसिबल and delivering it to the child in the best state of mind, and there it is that the learning will happen at a faster speed. इसको बोलते जन्नत. क्लास को आप क्या कर देते? हेवन बना देते. You make the class into a heaven for that period of time. And children who get into this heaven would like to be in this heaven regularly. तो आपकी क्लास को वो लोग जब पीरियड आएगा बहुत ही आरजू करेंगे कि क्लास का टाइम आ जाए, और आप में भी वो पैदाइश हो जाएगी फिक्री रूही जो ये बतलाती है कि आपको जाके पढ़ाना है. तो यू एंटर लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड, दे एक्सेप्ट लुकिंग फॉरवर्ड, एंड देन थिंग्स बिकम डिफरेंट. बोले ये तो आशिकी में होता. ये तो आशिकी में होता. दिस हैपेंस व्हेन यू आर इन लव. होता ना, जनरल बात बोल रहा हूं. ये तो लव की कंडीशन में होता है. तो यही तो मैं बात बोल रहा हूं शुरू से. आपको अगर पढ़ाई से पढ़ने से मोहब्बत है तो फिर ये लव की बात ही होनी चाहिए. लव को महदूद क्यों कर लेते? वाई आर वी लिमिटिंग? इज नॉट द लव ऑफ गॉड लव? लव ऑफ चिल्ड्रन लव? Love of parents love, love of siblings love, loves of friends love, love of children, students love. Which love are we speaking of? We are bringing our experience down to the physical and want to live like humans. While physically humans are not the best endowed species. सबसे ज्यादा physical strength इंसान को दिया ऊपर वाले ने. No. Human beings don't have that. Physically we are very weak. Right? A small sized dog makes us run for our life. Right? So what are we? The mind part, we have seen that can be very easily now be replicated through artificial intelligence and onwards. So where are we left with? We are left with our core, and we don't realize our core. That is the greatest problem we are having. विडंबना है, सितम ज़रीफ़ी है, a kind of a contradiction. You have something, you don't recognize it, and what you recognize is not worthwhile. क्या हो गया? Physical things do better work than you physical, right? And it's slowly becoming more and more machine dominated. Modern factories, hardly any people working in them. Modern factories, hardly any people working in them. All mechanized, just a bit of supervision, and that's all. Everything has been automated. Big godowns which would be filled with people, all planned, everything coming and being stacked in a way, everything being taken out in a way. Very little human intervention. The physical part is gone. The mental part, as we are just discussing, is slowly becoming a constant. So the variable is what? The soul. And the soul has infinite ability to do good and infinite ability to do bad. It can do genocide, as we see now in Gaza. We had seen it earlier when the atom bomb was dropped at Hiroshima and Nagasaki, right? And we keep killing people for no reason at all. Every part of the world. It's less than genocide, but it is human killing, and now killing has been mechanized. Machines मार रहे हैं एक दूसरे, इंसानों को खत्म कर रहे हैं. What we call mechanized killing. So the soul can use machines to kill with perfection, or give life with perfection. Kill with perfection is the domain of science, which is being used to manufacture killing machines, which are so accurate that you can't imagine it. It will hit a running target with no mistake at all. What we can't do for 10 meters, it can do from the sky. The drones which are being used today, what earlier used to be done by pistols and guns is being done by accurate pinpoint killing of individuals. That is the ability which we have now. So this is the worst part of the soul. Making bombs and killing machine and humans killing. Human beings are the only species which has killed and keeps killing most of its own than any other animal or all animals put together. So either we are at worse than animal state or we will become like gods. The goodness is there to create love, affection, move it into the class, create hope in the class, create an ability to work as a group in the class, make children happy in the class in the process of learning and even testing. They should be happy to give a test. They should be happy to give a test. If that can be brought, that is the ascendancy of the soul over matter, over mind. Over matter and over mind. Do we want to enter that domain or don't we want to enter that domain? One. Do you consider it possible or don't you consider it possible? जोर से बोलिए, अब इससे जोर से जवाब होना है. Ascendancy over mind and matter of the soul possible है, होना चाहिए बोल रहे हैं. Possible है कि नहीं है? जो सो गए हैं मैं उनसे जवाब नहीं ले रहा हूं, जो जाग रहे हैं उनसे ले रहा हूं. है या नहीं है? जोर से बोल दीजिए. है. There is a process to go towards it. We can work towards it, and it's better we work towards it individually as a group. As a group, to encourage each other in this path, because it's not an easy path. Every time our mind pulls us down. कड़वा बादाम ज्यादा याद रहता है अच्छे बादामों से. ठीक है, किसी ने आपकी तारीफ कर दी 4 दिन के बाद भूल जाएंगे, लेकिन किसी ने कभी बुराई कर दी तो मरते दम नहीं भूलेंगे. ठीक है, तो ये प्रॉब्लम्स को लेते हुए हम ये कैसे जाएंगे, है या नहीं है? जा तो सकते हैं. ठीक है, ऊपर वाला भी सुन लिया है, आप लोग बोल दिए. ठीक है, ये सोच के कि मैं सुन रहा हूं, लेकिन ऊपर वाला भी सुन लिया है. कल पूछेगा जब तुम लोगों को पता था, पॉसिबल है बोले थे, तो फिर करे क्यों नहीं? राइट. गालिब का एक शेर है, जानता हूं सवाबे तात और ज़ोहद, पर तबीयत उधर नहीं आती. मतलब समझे आप लोग? आई नो द इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ पाइटी and accepting God's command, right? But I am not inclined towards it. I know it's good, right? I know it's good. I know it's good to be pious. I know it's good to listen to God's word, but I am not feeling inclined towards it. This is our vidambana, this is our kind of a contradiction which is there in our. अच्छाई को समझते हैं लेकिन अपनाते नहीं हैं, और अच्छाई तमाम की तमाम सारी आईने के सामने, सारी की सारी आईने के सामने नजर आती है, जबकि आईने के सामने की अच्छाई और सोल की अच्छाई में जमीन आसमान का फर्क है. ये अच्छाई खत्म होते जाएगी, वो अच्छाई उम्र के साथ, एज के साथ बढ़ती जाएगी. पहले थोड़ा सा पाउडर लगा लेते थे तो काम चल जाता था, अब होते होते फाउंडेशन लगाते हैं तो भी काम नहीं चल रहा है या नहीं है? और दिक्कत आ रहा है तो लोग देख भी रहे तो समझ रहे हैं हम नहीं है. ठीक है, तो अजीब तरीके से हेलो या सलाम कर रहे हैं या नमस्ते कर रहे हैं. राइट. तो अपना सोल को अगर हम आगे बढ़ाते रहे तो ये चीज अपनी जगह पे ठीक है. ठीक है, but more importance becomes more cleanliness of the body than showing others what and how beautiful we are. Right? That is more important. Cleanliness becomes more important than makeup in this field which we want to go further. If you feel that makeup is more important than cleanliness, we have not moved on the path of the soul. No. First thing which we have to move on the path of the soul is that you should understand the soul is the primary thing which you have to take care of. And once you start taking care of, prayer works, worship works, it works really good. Thinking about good things, thinking about God works, right? It gives you hope that you have been created with a very good purpose. Maybe yes, it's a small purpose, but it can expand if you want to expand it, and you have the ability to understand it and expand it as much as you can. Don't consider any action of yours to be ordinary. If it's in the cause of goodness and your soul is getting elated, strengthened, powered, and once you start pushing that soul and start moving the souls of other people, there you will feel that you are realizing the real purpose of your life. Not by consuming greater things, not by acquiring greater things. This will be a secondary activity. I don't say that it won't be there. घर को साफ रखना, अपने आप को साफ रखना, घर को डेकोरेटेड रखना, ठीक है, ये जो नॉर्मल जिंदगी है, ordinary business of life, that will continue and maybe continue in a good way, in a better way. You will be more energized, so you'll keep your home more clean. You had energy for that because you are not brooding over unnecessary things. Nothing is pulling you down. Everything is pulling you up. God is pulling you up. Your soul wants to get pulled up. So everything becomes so connected that in that connectivity you will never feel lonely, and the world will look a place which is worth living, and worth living at the happiest level of life at each instant. Thank you very much.